when I was hired for the job here, I knew that they were looking for change. I mean, we were kind of having a tough time financially, and I think they were mainly thinking of how do we get somebody that can get us out of this situation. And I'll never forget the day before the last interview. I called a headhunter pal of mine. I said, "Hey man, what do I do now?" He says, "Fish, it's all about 4 questions. You want to leave with the answer to 4 questions. What are you going to be called? To whom are you going to report? What are they going to pay you? And most importantly, how are they going to judge whether you're succeeding or failing?" Thank God I called the guy, because that day when I went in for my final interview, they had answered the first 3 questions. But then it kind of got quiet. They said, "Do you have any questions for us?" And I said, "Yeah, how are you going to judge whether I'm succeeding or failing?" I kind of knew that they hadn't really thought about it. And after about 40 seconds of silence, I said, "Guys, it's okay if you haven't thought about it, because it's actually something we need to do together. Why don't we think about a retreat where we can," and this is a group that had not gone on a retreat, "but why don't we think about together where we ought to be headed, and then we can, together figure out what the goals and objectives are going forward." They were relieved. And of course, I was too, that they hadn't all figured it out at that time. And so, one of the things you want to do is bring in other people who might be smarter than you are, and maybe with a bit more experience. And since I was brand new to the field, I needed that desperately. And when you're working with a board of directors, you of course want, you'd love to have them engaged enough so that you can all be on the same page. And that's where I think we were able to get started on a pretty good track, so that we could set some common goals and objectives that did involve change. Then I had a remarkable group of people that had been here for quite a long time. And of course, I needed them, and I needed to, as we were thinking about where we would want to be headed, I wanted to get them involved in helping think about that as well. And what I did find was that some of them had never been asked that question. They hadn't been engaged in thinking about where they were going to be heading. And for some of them, that was a comfortable activity. And for others, it was, because they hadn't been engaged before, something they just couldn't do. And I thought it was important to give everybody some time to see if that adjustment could be made. And those that were unable to make it, I worked with them to see if they couldn't find some other opportunity. But then I was very lucky in being able to have some marvelous interns, people that were students or recent students, young, bright, passionate about the performing arts. And passion, there's nothing like passion combined with talent. And so I think one of the other things is, if you're going to affect change, is try to get some great people on board that have that passion, have that excitement, also are highly skilled, and then get out of their way. I mean, provide enough direction so that they have a sense of what the long-term goal is in. But then if you have faith in them, they have faith in you, let them go. At the same time, find that weekly meeting where you can pull everybody together, make sure that you're all still going on the same page, and where you can learn and grow from each other.